professional career, I sang and played guitar in a rock and roll band. How do you get that?
Yeah.
This is what a rock star looks like when they get old. You know, one of the ironies of life is one of my good buddies when I went to college was Paul Simon. We were fraternity brothers. And I was the singer and guitar player, and he was the geeky engineer. And just shows your life sometimes turns out in strange ways. I did that all during school. I have an undergraduate degree from City University of New York. I didn't think I was smart enough to be an engineer, but I could tuck my way out of anything, so I went to law school. Got a job in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office as a patent examiner. Went to George Washington University Law School. Graduated 4 years later in the top 10% of my class. Got a job right here in Orange County, California as an intellectual property attorney, which I did, by the way, for 18 years, having all the background and training one would need to be successful in that field. The only problem was I woke up 11 years later. I'd just gotten a divorce. I was a struggling slow practitioner living day to day, week to week, month to month. I couldn't keep a secretary. I never had a secretary last for a year in 15 years. I didn't have very many friends, and I didn't have a very good relationship with my kids. So my life was really a disaster in every way that you can imagine. So, but I looked at some of my contemporaries, people I went to school with and things like that, and they were all doing great. And I figured there must be a class in being successful that I missed. So I went back to look at my college curriculum, my law school curriculum, and discovered that there was no class. But I was determined because there had to be a place to learn this. So I went looking. And I don't know if you've heard the old expression, it says when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. So the teacher started to show up. And I spent a lot of time sitting in the chairs that you're sitting in, listening to people like me, and it worked. I went from being a struggling slow practitioner to being a partner in a major law firm just in a couple of years. I was managing an office. I was making a ton of money. And it was all because I learned some amazing things about people, about business, about life itself, things that we're going to talk about today. And what's remarkable to me is that there is still no school on the planet where you can have the conversation that we're going to have today, really. It's remarkable to me. There are places you can go, but not in any school. So I ultimately retired as a lawyer, not because I hated it. People think with all the lawyer jokes I hated it, but I actually was at the place I couldn't have been happier. But I retired because these things I was learning were so exciting. I wanted to become a full-time student, and I had to figure out a way to make a living doing it. So in 1985, I started a coaching company, and I started coaching people to use stuff that I was learning to see if it would produce results for them. And the first couple of years, there was some experimentation, but right around 1990, the pieces all fell into place. And so I've been doing that now for 26 years. I'm the president of a coaching company, and we have offices here in Chicago and Philadelphia. And we've worked with hundreds of companies and hundreds of thousands of people. And what we do really works. So we have a philosophy, which I'm going to share with you. And it's a philosophy of context. And if you take our philosophy of context and you overlay it on the content of anything, what out the other end comes something pretty extraordinary. So if I talk to you about things you already know, then I will be wasting my time. That's not my intention. My intention is to wake you up to some of the realities of life, provoke your thinking, get you to think some things you haven't thought about before. And I invite you to take what I'm going to share with you seriously, because I promise you if you do, it'll make an enormous difference. It will actually position you to be successful in this business, because I've been in this business now. In 2000, I decided, I always use speaking as a way of promoting my coaching business, and I did a lot of speaking for free, probably 500 to 1,000 talks for free. I wasn't interested in getting paid to speak. Hi. Why don't you come over here and sit next to Kane?